Shelled. So we were just talking then about a recent online lesson that you had with a player who was casting the golf club. And there is a plethora of reasons of why players might be doing this.
Yep.
Face might be open, one of them, and that's their attempt at closing it. But with this specific player, it was around their grip pressure, wasn't it? It was quite interesting.
Absolutely, yes. And I love when I get this opportunity with you to kind of hang out and talk to your audience about misconceptions out there. And one of the ones that I had with a recent lesson of mine is a student was using the term that he wanted to hold the club like a baby bird, right? And he comes to me, as every golf student does, and I was talking to them about, what do you want done? What are your needs today specifically? And he mentioned that he was casting the club from the top of the backswing. And yes, I obviously take a look because people say what they're feeling, and what casting might look like, right, is that this golf club here, we're emptying out the angles too early. Now, we absolutely know that we do start the unloading phase from the top of the backswing into the downswing, but this golfer was specifically doing it way too much and too early. Started diving in, asking some questions, and he went down the track to tell me that he was holding the club really lightly in his club. And then when we zoom in, using my online analysis tool, right, that we could see at the top of the backswing that he was losing the club. Yeah. So he was therefore, when that golf club is going this way here, Kerrod, right, so it's going back, and then he needs to start that club going back in the opposite direction. He was letting go of the club through that and then throwing it and then re-catching it again on the way down.
Otherwise he would have missed it, yeah.
Absolutely, and it was coming from this player thinking that he had to have really soft hands. Now, one of the big things I want to talk to people about is that when you hold your club, is I want you to be holding it tightly enough that you can't take it out of my hands.
Yeah, correct.
Absolutely. But the kiss here, right, is that you need to be mobile in your wrists.
Yeah.
Would you agree with that? Is that something that you see?
Yeah, massively. So the phrase that I use is a secure hold on the golf club, but long and relaxed arms. So if you hold the golf club up and face me, Toby. So what Toby was just saying is that I shouldn't be able to pull it out of his hands, but I should be able to push it towards his body.
Yeah.
And that's a great test. Now, if you think about any other sport that you would play, which involves a bat, a racket, or a club, is that if you were to hold a baseball bat, for example, loosely in your hands, you start overcompensating with tension through your shoulders and your arms. Now, if a ball's coming towards you really fast and you're trying to swing and time things up, well, you've got no control over the instrument.
Yeah.
Right? And think about if you're banging a nail into a piece of wood,
Yeah.
you're holding it securely, but not filled with tension, so you can allow the weight of that object to do the work. And the same thing in golf swing, is you want to have a secure hold, but soft, relaxed arms, and a waggle before you hit the golf ball is an incredibly valuable way that players can ensure that they're in this position where they've got control over it.
Absolutely. If you're hammering a nail into the ground and you've got a soft grip, I'm running away. I don't want to be around that person. And if you're throwing a ball and you've got a soft hand on it, you're not going to be throwing that ball very far at all. So what we want to be doing, right, is making sure that we have a nice secure grip. So our golf club is resting nicely within our hands, right? Absolutely we do. And we want to try, and I like to use the same, that I'm maintaining that grip pressure throughout the golf swing, right? I'm not trying to increase it or decrease it. I'm trying to maintain that pressure through my thumbs. So if you're someone who is focusing on having a soft grip and you need to start doing the opposite, which is applying pressure to that grip, you need to start looking at how you're doing it through the thumbs as the trigger point.
Yeah, for sure. And a great way to build an awareness of how tightly you should be holding the golf club. Toby, if you set up to that ball for me, is just take your front hand off the club, put it behind your back. Right? Now make a swing to the top. With one-handed swings, you are forced to control the golf club. You are forced to hinge and load the golf club better, because the majority of players who are holding it too softly, they go, well, I don't want my backhand to dominate or my front hand to dominate. And they'll hold it softly, and then they'll take the golf club back and it will feel very heavy. You'll feel it wobble. But if you're in your address position and you go, take my front hand off, you can even just pretend you've got a hammer there, bang it up and down a couple of times and make a backswing. You'll be so surprised how well you'll control that golf club and how actually the mechanics of your arms will work better. And you can do it with both arms and it works extremely well. Now just close your eyes at the top of the swing and just go, what is my grip pressure there? And I could almost guarantee for the majority of players who are struggling with their ball striking, it's going to be that it probably feels tighter when you do this exercise than it normally does.
Absolutely, yes. And you're going to have valuable control of that club for the transitional aspect, where that we know that when I measure and spend a lot of time with my tour professionals through to my recreational golfer, the biggest difference that I see is the ability of the professional golfer to be able to have themselves better organized up here through the transition. I can put a 12 handicap golfer alongside a professional golfer at lead arm level to the ground and see an abundance of similarity. Yeah. But if you're the person who is getting yourself let down through a soft grip and you're feeling loose at the top here and you're losing control of that club, just by checking your grip pressure and the orientation of your hands on there, and then the pressure through your thumbs, while still making sure that I like to say that you breathe through your joints. Like, this is you, Kerrod, right? When I watch you play golf, I see you do this all the time.
Club is pushing and pulling towards the body, club head is moving back and forth. The most important, valuable thing about this is just building the awareness of the weight of the club head. You want to feel the club head throughout your swing. And if your grip is too loose, you're not going to have an awareness of that, because essentially the golf club will be slipping and moving about within your fingers.
Yep. So when you are adding more pressure to the handle, you are therefore adding a little bit more tension, we could say. So then we've got to release that tension, and I like to say breathe through the joints. So breathe through your shoulder, breathe through your elbows, breathe through your wrists to get that softness. And when I see you play a lot, that's the little connotation I see you do a lot.
You'll see the best golfers stay in motion throughout the entirety of their setup and pre-shot routine just before they strike the golf ball. And a big part of that is ensuring that they've got a secure hold and soft arms at address.
Thanks for watching this video. YouTube thinks that you would benefit from watching this one next. So click that card and it could be the tip that you need to take your game to the next level. I'll see you next time.